Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Moto Scotty, and we're going to talk about the BMW R1300 GS and why it seems to be really difficult to actually insure the motorbike itself. Quite a common thing at the moment, with lots of chat going on in the forums with people struggling to get insurance for the actual bike. I know personally myself, I struggled whenever I first picked up the bike up in December. A few months later, the problem still seems to be happening. And just a few wee tips and tricks on how to actually find yourself insurance, because I understand a lot of people are still struggling to actually get cover for this. Just to look a wee bit into why this is actually happening, when any new model of bike or car is released into the insurance world, the insurance companies have got to work out a rating for it, i.e. how much is it going to cost to repair the bike if something goes wrong, what's the theft situation like, are they going to be really desirable, prone to thefts, is the security going to be high enough to actually stop, any attempted thefts as well. So that's going to take the insurance companies a bit of time to actually work out how much, it's going to be and get all the stats they need to give the bike a proper rating. I appreciate that doesn't help now, because at the moment, if you go in any online quote systems, it doesn't seem to be able to have anyone that's wanting to quote for it. And a lot of people are having to leave their insurance companies and actually try and find someone who's prepared to take on the bike. In itself, it sounds quite crazy, given the fact that the R1300 GS, when spec'd up as well, is more or less the same sort of value, give or take a couple of £1,000s. I know there's still some people struggle with that, but that bike's been around long enough that the insurance companies, can work out roughly what that's going to cost to insure. So there's two big problems that's happened with this. One, not being able to find the bike on any quote systems. And the second one is, whenever you actually do find an insurance company, the price seems to be really high on the R1300 GS. I'm just going to speak from personal experience. If anyone else has any other options or has maybe been able to get relatively sensible prices, I'd be more than willing to hear that in the comments, and certainly try and help some people who are trying to get policies as well. But my previous bike, 2018 model GS, was £220 to insure for the year last year, and this year with the R1300, that price came in at £980 from one of only two companies out of about 20 firms I phoned who was actually able to find the bike or have a workaround at least to be able to try and get the bike insured as well. So that's a significant price increase, not just the cost of the new bike, but also the cost to insure it. I am hoping that as time goes on over the next few months, the insurance companies manage to settle it down and actually work out a proper rating for it, which in turn will allow us to actually maybe even possibly cancel what we've taken out and get insurance at a much more sensible price as well. So, what do you need to do to try and find insurance? So, if everyone's been used to jumping on the comparison websites and using companies like Bennetts, Carol Nash, compare the market, etc., to try and find insurance, it's probably not the best thing to do at the moment, because again, these online companies don't seem to be able to find this bike, or if they do, they might find the bike, but they'll turn back a nil quote as if they can't actually find it. What you need to do, and this is how I managed to get insurance, there are a couple of companies, one of them being Bennetts Insurance, which is one of the UK's largest bike insurance brokerages. Bennetts were able to manually create an insurance policy based on the R1250. Now, the problem with that is they then also included loading, which in the insurance world is basically a higher price for what they would class as a higher risk. Is the bike a higher risk? Probably not, but at the moment they don't know, because it's such a new bike and they need to try and work out where the pricing sits with that. So I had to call Bennetts, not once, not twice, but 3 times to actually find someone who knew what they were doing on the other end of the phone, and they were able to suggest that there was a workaround on actually getting insurance. So after a few conversations with them, we managed to get somewhere, and they were able to find an insurance company that fitted what I was looking for. Not necessarily the price. That was rather pricey and expensive, in my opinion. I know insurance has went up a lot in the last year anyway, for various different reasons, but we did manage to get an insurance company that was able to quote on it. Now, on the different bike forums that I'm a part of as well, I've been able to tell different people what they need to do, and it's helped, and they've managed to get quotes, albeit everyone seems to be in the same position that I was and finding much higher prices. But the key thing is that you can actually get the bike insured for whenever you need to take it away. Another insurance option is also to speak to Motorrad, who are BMW's own insurance company as well. Your BMW dealer will be able to give you the details of that. The only thing with it, that was actually about £150 more expensive than what Bennetts were able to get me for. And I appreciate insurance has worked on lots of different things, such as location, no claims discount, occupation, things like that. But, you know, I think the general trend is that there are a bit cheaper out there. But if you're really struggling, Motorrad should be able to help to try and get you covered at least. You'd like to expect so, given that they do actually have the connection with the dealerships that are selling the bike itself as well. So will the R1300 pricing settle down with insurance? I appreciate most people are £700, £800, £900 a month plus, or not a month, sorry, annually, you know, to actually get this bike insured. That is a big issue in my opinion. It was the same, you know, with any bike over £20,000, a lot of people struggled with new models over the last couple of years to actually get them insured as well. So this is not a GS specific problem. This is a new bike problem for a value over £20,000, where a lot of insurance companies stipulate on things, you know, such as, you know, ground bars, you know, getting fitted into garages, you know, it's got to be securely locked when not in use, additional security features such as tracker systems, you know, stealth tracker systems, which can be dealer fit as well. There are other ones out there, as provided it's Thatchcam approved, you know, so all these wee different things you might need to consider if you're actually wanting to get the bike insured. I guess, why would you not want to? You know, again, it's a lot of money. It's going to be your pride and joy, trying to deter a criminal from actually coming and taking the bike from your garage. You know, you do want to have additional security features on that as best as possible. So rest assured, you can get cover on it. I appreciate it's going to be difficult. It's going to take some phone calls, and it's probably not what you're used to with dealing with insurance. However, it can be done. And hopefully in the next few months, we can actually start getting some insurance companies who can start giving sensible prices on this bike. So, hope that helps.